Phillips. I'm Colonel Chad Phillips, absolutely no relation, and I'll be narrating today's ceremony. The presiding officer is Brigadier General Michael Mason, the Assistant Adjutant General, Oklahoma Air National Guard. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem.
Come on.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Commissioner Neighbors. Everybody, please be seated, please. Captain Freeze is now going to give us an invitation.
You could sell that good, right?
If you will, pray with me. Almighty God, it is a privilege to be a part of an occasion like this. Even in contemplating to offer this invocation and to recognize your goodness in life, I'm reminded that life is filled with choices. And I thank you for Colonel Phillips' life, the choices that he has made, choices that he was challenged in as a young person, his family and friends, that would help shape his early years, and choices that he'd made, some great and I'm certain some not so great, but all of those being used to learn and to grow and develop. For his bride and his family that have come alongside to help shape his life and walk alongside him through a myriad of experiences. The choices that he made and has made do not reflect a silver spoon, but reflect a lot of hard work, and I'm certain those choices that he has made along the years, sometimes he's gotten a pat on the back and other times a kick in the shorts to be able to move forward with strength and honor and integrity. God, I thank you for this moment and those that have labored so hard over the years to pour into him, to be able to allow him to experience the things that he has over this very fruitful career. I thank you for, again, those that stood alongside him with the hours that he would spend and weeks and months that he would spend away from home, fulfilling his call to serve in capacities that he has. Now in this next phase, in this next season of life, God, I ask for your blessing upon him, that you would return to him the time that has been missed, and the cherished moments that are ahead, the experiences that he is about to embark on, the memories that will be made in the years to come. Thank you for this time to be able to celebrate a life well lived and choices well made. It's in your name, Jesus, I pray these things. Amen.
Finish up on prayer. In recognition of this important event, we're joined today with many special guests and distinguished bishops who serve the cause until all introductions are complete. Of course, and most importantly, the Phillips family, got wife Mary Ann, JD, his son, mother Kathy Helms and her husband John Helms, sister Laura Jones, and sister-in-law Becca Thomas and her husband John Thomas. Our distinguished visitors, Mr. Quentin Gray, whoever out for Senator James Langford, Representative and Chief Master Sergeant retired, one of our own, Derek Hildebrandt. And we also have Colonel Scott Townsend, Director of Staff, Joint Force Headquarters, Colonel Ryan Jones, Deputy Commander for 137th Special Operations Wing, Master Sergeant Eric Erler, Command Chief, 138 Fighter Wing, and our group commanders Colonel Scorsoni of the Ops Group, Colonel Hartney of the Maintenance Group, Colonel Chia of the Support Group, and Colonel Griffin of the Medical Group. And finally, a welcome to all our current, former Air National Guard commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, members of the wing, co-workers, friends, and family for being present today to share in this special occasion for Cooter. Now, just a bit about our honoree. You may be in trouble, Peter, because Rick said and I have worked on this for a few days now, so thanks for him. So we're gathered here today to celebrate the retirement of a true Air Force legend in Colonel David Emory Phillips. Peter was born in 1979, and it took him many years to find his passion, which was the F-16 Fighting Falcon, and that occurred in 2003. However, he married his only true love, Mary Ann, in 2000, and this year they celebrate 25 years together. That's great. And of course, here comes JD. With a lesson to Mary and Cooter both in 2002. So while most commanders are out there chasing readiness stats, Cooter has spent years courageously, endlessly, tirelessly battling a more sinister threat to our mission. It was on display this morning for you those that had drove in the pouring rain, and that was the wayward road cones, or the orange cones that have you say shine in face. He has fought hard for years on the orange codes, and he was lost. Of course, many of us will remember him not just for his war on cones, but it's for that iconic military vest. Even though he loved this vest, and it had its own NSN, he wore it with pride, and he was within the regulations. But he sadly retired it. But he did it because he was a good example for his airmen. And it's been said that we always look after the things we care about, and that is true. Nobody's ever taken care of our airmen as good as Cooter. During his time in various commands, he led with integrity, vision, and a zero-tolerance policy for visual clutter. Under his watch, the mission soared, the morale stayed high, and the deer population in northwest Oklahoma was decimated. But he need to come over to Cane Creek near Willica because they're a rat up right across the road. Congratulations, Cooter, aka the Cone Whisperer. You've earned this, man. And so has your wife, Mary Ann, and JD, and we wish you the best. But this time, Brigadier Jim Mason will now make a few remarks. Stay.
Those remarks were
Pardon me 1 second while I bring up my spectacles. And I wanted to start by saying thanks, Jeff, for you and the 138th Fire Wings team always represent the Oklahoma Air National Guard, the Air Force, and the DoD well to our community, those from out of state, family, local friends from Chituke and other parts in Oklahoma, and all the friends here from the 138th and JPHQ. And come a picture representing 137th, busy weekend down there as well. And thanks for letting me be part of the ceremony to honor my friend as we send him off into the next quarter, the next half, the next chapter. So objectives, pretty simple. Honor and celebrate my friend Colonel David Cooter Phillips and his family. Express gratitude and appreciation and celebration with the right mix of ceremony, tradition, and familial sincerity, which sounds complex, but in fighter pilot terms, that means it has to be at least 10% true. There's got to be some context and some humor involved, so I'll try to uphold that. And keep it all brevity, so we stay on timeline. So what is retirement? It's not the end, right? For some people, retirement this is just your first retirement. I had my first retirement once too. But it's just a snapshot in time. It's a halftime show. All right. We talked about how you made great choices, made great sacrifices. I know you'll speak more to that in your own remarks. But the years of service and accomplishments, your dedication, your sacrifice, your commitment, we'll hear more about that again as the ceremony goes on. We have an award to present you that's going to attest to many of those things. But I wanted to frame it a little bit in the context of football and sports, not just because my friend Coach is here in the front row, but just to note how well you played the game up to halftime. All right, and as already alluded to, you won before the game even started. You outkicked the other team's coverage by a mile in St. Mary's. Right, and then years later, you did the greatest play in your family's history seen to date. You scored this touchdown that'll go down in the history books, and JD had joined the Phillips household. And the advantage of running up the points to the fashion you have in the first half is now, after halftime, you get to choose how you play the rest of the game. You get to choose the pace, you get to choose the plays, and I look forward to seeing how that plays out in your family's future. It's going to be awesome. And giving you back something you gave me about 2 years ago, actually, pretty much on the dot. It's a book. The title of the book is called Halftime. The subtitle says Moving from Success to Significance. I would judge by the number of people in the room here today represented by your family, your community, and those you served with, those you've led and sacrificed for. There's no transition that needs to be made to significance because you're already here. And in your last 20 plus years of service attest to that, as well as your family. So I give this book back to you because you probably need a refresh. And it's probably due for a refresh, and maybe we'll talk more about it again in the future. But as evidenced by everyone here today, I think we can all safely say you've made the transition now. You just choose how that looks a little different moving forward. Cool. Almost there. So, like I said, this ceremony is just a halftime show. And as you look forward to the rest of the game, I know the qualities and values that got you here will carry you forward in great success and even in greater significance. Now, I've known Cooter since we both arrived at 130th Fire Wing about the same time frame, back in 2011. Yes, I was at the time working down at Fort Sill and made the transition to Tulsa and started flying the Mighty Vipers. At least 10 years too late, but trying to catch up, doing my best. And I got to know David as a fellow fighter pilot, as a roommate in a metal container in the desert of Afghanistan for a few months. We worked many hours and many difficult projects. You and I both don't have necessarily the standard career path for fighter pilot on each, but you've done a great job of demonstrating how to accept challenges and conquer them, and doing that in the interest of the airmen in the mission you've been given the responsibility to serve and to lead. So thank you for knowing that. Here's what I know. You're a warrior, you're a servant, you're a leader, and you're a good friend. And most importantly, you're a good husband and father and family member to those here on the left side of the room. I know your best days are in front of you. All of us here know that you played the game with faith, with courage, with honor and with strength. And for the golf fans in the room, if those of you could think back, be around, I know you know this one. It's like 2001 PGA Players Championship. Tiger Woods sinks a 60-foot putt on the 17th green. There's a famous announcer that, as the ball's rolling towards the hole, he says, "Better than most." And he said it 3 times. I'm not going to try to replicate it, but the point was that was done better than most. And that's what I'm recognizing here today in my effort with these remarks, is recognize that you've done it better than most. Thank you for doing that. So I'll close with this on behalf of General Mancino and the United States Air Force and America. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And it's truly an honor to be a part of the ceremony today. So with that, that's the 10%, a little bit of humor, a little bit of sincerity. Now we'll do some of the formal ceremonial stuff if you'll join me in the sing.
Go.
Ex-General Mason, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the reading of the citation to accompany the award of the Legion of Merit. Attention orders. Colonel David E. Phillips distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States Air Force in the Oklahoma Air National Guard from 9 May 2001 to 1 May 2025. Throughout a remarkable 24-year career, Colonel Phillips held numerous strategic positions, leaving a lasting legacy across the entire spectrum of military operations. As a fighter pilot, Colonel Phillips flew 107 valiant combat missions supporting operations Joint Forge, Iraqi Freedom, and Enduring Freedom. His precision airstrikes demolished insurgent strongholds and wreaked havoc on the enemy's ability to threaten Allied forces. Accumulating over 2,000 flight hours, he transitioned to leadership roles, commanding at the squadron, group, and wing levels. As Mission Support Commander, Colonel Phillips oversaw the management of $160 million in critical infrastructure and $750 million in Air Force assets, ensuring their optimum readiness and operational effectiveness. With 6 squadrons under his command, he organized, trained, and equipped 450 personnel, preparing them to execute global missions with precision, which expanded the wing's strategic reach. In a landmark achievement, Colonel Phillips orchestrated the first ever $35 million partnership between the city of Tulsa, the state of Oklahoma, and the U.S. federal government to establish a cutting-edge mission training center. Over 2 years of relentless efforts, he turned this visionary product into reality. The facility redefined operational readiness, enabling pilots to engage in advanced flight simulations that mirror real-world scenarios, significantly enhancing mission success rates and elevating the operational capabilities of the force to unprecedented levels. As Deputy Wing Commander, Colonel Phillips developed strategic plans and tackled force modernization efforts to expand the wing's role within the Air National Guard. His bold vision ensured the wing's readiness to dominate emerging threats and maintain superiority on the global stage. The distinctive accomplishments of Colonel David E. Phillips culminate a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Now for the publishing of the retirement order.
What was the order?
Attention orders. Department of the Air Force, Special Order OK 2019 by the order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Colonel David E. Phillips is relieved from his current assignment with the 138th Fighter Wing and honorably discharged from the Oklahoma Air National Guard and assigned to the Retired Reserve effective 1 May 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Child.
General Mason will now present the Certificate of Appreciation and Retirement Certificate. Certificate of Appreciation for the Service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Colonel David E. Phillips. I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of our grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of a nation during a critical time in its history and devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps. And for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done, my best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Donald J. Trump, Commander-in-Chief. Now for the Certificate of Retirement. The Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America to all who shall see these presents greeting. This is to certify that Colonel David E. Phillips, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the 1st of May, 2025. Signed, David W. Alvin, General Chief of Staff, United States Air Force, and Duke A. Perret, Major General, Acting Director, our National Guard, United States Air Force. David Love is his wife. Mary, can you join him up here, please? Your certificate of appreciation for the United States Air Force. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Mary Ann Phillips for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's protects. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse in service, giving us day 1 May 2025. Peace. All right, JD, it's your turn, man. Can you come up here and join us?
I understand.
All right, for JD, it's the Military Child Medal. Throughout the years of your life, you made sacrifices and you served your country as much as I have done. In your loving way, you quietly shouldered the heavy burden that you were asked to carry. Most of the time, you could not understand why I was not there, but you quietly hid the tears, courageously put on a smile, and definitely promised that you would support me. You were then, as now, one of the most important parts of my life, and it was your love that enabled you to assure me that I was doing what was important. I missed so many holidays and countless special occasions while you were left at home to worry while I was away. Your resilience and self-confidence gave me strength. I'm proud of you, for it was your love and your support that sustained me in those difficult times. There's no way in my mind that I could have been a success in the military without having your support, your understanding, and most importantly, your unquestionable love. Thanks for being my goodness.
Sleep.
God, baby.
No.
All right, Peter's going to get some gifts. So the first one is going to be Chief Master Sergeant Eric Cooter. He's going to present a gift on behalf of the firemen. And Lieutenant Colonel Underwood. So make that, sorry, that's you.
Sir, after many years of service, we found a new way for you to serve. So we made this lovely little charcuterie board for you. Brilliant colors, fit right in, right?
You like that? I read it? Yeah. They paint that. Shoot, move.
Okay, I have the standard litho from the 138th Fighter Wing. No one under duress signed it, so everyone actually willingly did it. And let this be just another reminder, just as Mouse General Leeson said, this crowd here is a great example of your service here and everything that you've provided us. So, again, even though we have all razzed you and it's gone up and down both sides, we absolutely appreciate everything that you have provided us, your mentorship, that we accept and we will thank you.
Colonel News, or Sony, need to present a gift on behalf of the 138th Officer Booth.
You're on anyway.
No, on behalf of the ops group and to everyone that is there, we wanted to give you something that you can enjoy and you can none of us today. I know you've got a lot of traveling in your plans. I know a lot of front porches early morning drinking coffee or whatever you want to fill this in at 7 o'clock. I don't know. But we just want you to see our patches on the front every rest every day. And come you exploring one day. Mary Ann has to know this. This has to see how you made the new school on top. He'll explain how good it's
Colonel Coach Cheatham, on behalf of the 138th Midland Support Group.
All right, sir. As was already mentioned, you set quite a standard with your fashion with vests. Not just your military vest, but anytime outside of work or Jean Day, you seem to have a vest and a different vest. So, on behalf of the men and women of the Midland Support Group, we want to make sure you super big over attached to. Wear that down the bow.
Okay, Lieutenant Colonel Heidi is going to present something, and looks like Chief Taylor's going to join her for the Elder Escorts. And Raylene, I'm so sorry to be here. So everybody's going to join in. Yeah.
Sir, on behalf of the Logistics Readiness Squadron, we just want to thank you so much for your leadership, your mentorship, and most importantly, your friendship. That's really meant a lot over the years, and you've been a lot to me as well. So, continuing in the vein of celebrating the infamous OCP vest, Sergeant Page has created this teddy bear in your honor, wearing a vest. We also wanted to make sure that not only did you have a vest in your OCP uniform, but one you represented the other uniform that you wore for a really long time. So,
Oh my goodness.
And sort of that has a sec and a little sugar melora, so don't let Keith Brewer get work.
Like you guys, hello. Wait, sure.
All right, Lieutenant Colonel T.J. Love for the Inspector General's office.
Or not. Lady, sir, on behalf of the IG officer, we want to thank you for your mentorship, your friendship, sir. You spent many hours in the IG office, sir. So I thank you personally. You mentored me, you helped me doing. Just can't thank you enough, sir. So thank you so much. You will be missed. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thanks.
Did I miss anybody? Double my script.
Well, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Make sure you got all the best TV.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce you today, Colonel David Emory Phillips, United States Air Force retired.
Wow. The legacy I leave is that of vests and combs.
Thank you, General Mason, Colonel Phillips. Before a pilot goes out and flies a mission, a couple things he wants to know. First is his objective, and the next is the threat. So, like General Mason earlier, my objective today is to make sure I express my thanks and gratitude for the opportunity to be able to do what I did, and thank those who enabled it. The threats. The biggest threat is that I missed someone today. So I just want to go ahead and tell everyone in this room, thank you. You played a part. Don't be caught off guard if you see water drip from my eyes. It is a tactical liquid decoy. It is a classified government program, and you are never allowed to discuss it again outside of this room. It takes a tribe to be able to do what we do. Everyone in uniform will be able to tell you that. That's family, friends, our community, our churches, our peers, our subordinates, our commanders. It's a team effort. And it's been an honor to wear this uniform for 24 years. This uniform has been worn by some of the greats, the Billy Mitchells, the Hap Arnolds, the Jimmy Doolittles. They built an Air Force that was designed to dominate the skies, dominate the heavens. I'm proud to have been part of that team for the last 24 years. Mr. Gray, appreciate you being here. Thanks for what you do, Senator Lankford does, and what an honor it is to have you here today. Representative Hildebrand, it's hard for me to say that, Chief. thank you for what you're doing in the next phase of your career for the 138th Fighter Wing and our airmen soldiers throughout the state. Brigadier General Meeson, you brought it up, living in a metal container. A cowboy will tell you the medal of a man is found around a cattle drive and a campfire. Say the medal of a man is found in Afghanistan in a 10x10 metal box for 4 months. Sleeping together, flying combat sorties together, missing our families together, and you're a man of faith, family, and friendships. And I will forever be grateful for you. Colonel Phillips, he will not claim relations. However, I have done identity theft for the last 20 years of my career because I've ridden this guy's coattails for a long time. Something you probably don't know is Colonel Phillips and I both served on active duty before we joined the Oklahoma Air National Guard. In 2004, I showed up to Aviano Air Base, and there was a guy who just left by the name of Captain Phillips, who was going off to fighter weapons school, and they all thought I was his brother. This guy was a legend in the airplane, so I just grabbed on and rode it. So, now, boss, sorry about that, but thank you for letting me ride your coattails. Thanks for the honor of being your deputy. You two are amazing friendships and family, and I'm humbled to have served with you. Commanders, chiefs, colonels, you guys are amazing to work with. You guys make the machine run every day. I would recognize each and every one of you. Some deep friendships here that will continue well past these uniforms. Just want to say thank you for what you do for our airmen. To all those in the room that's wearing the uniform or have worn this uniform, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to fly and stand in formations with you. Thank you for having the guts to serve something bigger than yourself and the willingness to sacrifice it all should it be necessary. Those who take our oath build special bonds. In fact, sometimes we call it trauma bonding. We use words like clear hot, chow hall, fights on, good bar, check 6. Many have warned me about not allowing this uniform to become my identity, and I've failed miserably. It's weaved into every part of my DNA, and I'm proud to say I'm an airman for life. My roles change, but I am an airman for life, and I'm proud to say that. I built friendships that will last a lifetime, and I'll miss seeing you guys every day. Marys, stand by for tactical liquid decoys. I'm just going to read it. First, I must admit, I feel a sense of guilt today as I'm being recognized and awarded for some things that would not have been possible without you. You never let me down. You always believed in me. Despite 12 moves, you always made our house a home, a place I wanted to come home to. Over 24 years, I've been deployed in combat or training for over 4 years, and I've never once heard you deploy. Thank you. You allowed me to chase a dream. I look forward to the next phase of life, and whatever God gives us, I'll be your wingman for life. So thank you. JD, son, proud of you. Thank you for always supporting me. Look forward to seeing you grow into a strong Christian man who chooses your values over comfort. Support. Mom, John, thank you for being here today. I'm up here because you believed in me and convinced me that I can do things that I'm probably really not capable of doing. I am forever grateful for you guys. Laura, best sister a guy can ask for. You going out your way a lot. Fake. Becca Michael saying, I moved your sister 700 miles away and you guys still welcome us home, so thank you for that. There's a big group of family and friends back here. Thank you guys. You guys are closer than brothers and sisters. You're my neighbors, you're my friends, and really you are my deployed West family since my family kind of lived out east, and thank you for that. I'll forever be in your debt as you were there for the Watch Nest the broken garage doors, the broke down cars, and every other thing that goes wrong when you deploy. These friends and neighbors and my church family have had my 6 for years. They've allowed me to focus on the mission. You've blessed Mary and I so much, and we are forever grateful.
Chewy.
To those that are missing from our formations and our families over the years, we miss you. We still miss you in our formations. We miss you in our family, but we're not going to forget. To all those people who made today possible, this was an amazing day. Thank you so much, everyone, for putting this together. Lieutenant Tucker, Lieutenant Stone, Sergeant Reeves, Mr. Duvall, Scott Neighbors, awesome job on the national anthem. Thank you for that. I'm not sure where you got there. You are, Scott. Thank you for that. Chaplain Freeze, thank you. Also, thanks for all these awesome gifts. I'll turn it over to Lina. Really cool stuff. To the American citizen, thank you for the honor of serving you. My time on the watch has ended. To all you in uniform, you have the watch, strength and honor. Thanks, Gary. The men and women of the United States Air Force are proud to serve with you. Of course, your knowledge, wisdom, dedication, and friendship would be sorely missed. Brother, you're loved. Please come back and stay around as much as you can as you and Mary and JD return to the Jeff life. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the departure of the Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please join Cooter, Mary, and JD and the entire family in the back for receiving wine and refreshments today and being here.
While you was. Wow, he didn't. You just spent something.